We will be talking and reviewing the what is inside of your tables will be the layers. We bring the layers into ArcMap, and then we work with the layers, and eventually we'll be dealing with the fields as well. In the table, we have a toolbar, and we will review some of these commands. You see that one of almost everybody works with Excel spreadsheets, right? So you have your Excel tables, and then you want to deal with those with your ArcGIS desktop. So we'll talk about these things, and there are a few interesting situations. So I knew that you were coming, and so the idea at 10.1 is that we have this rename a field, and one main consideration for you to remind you and keep in mind that if you need to use time associated to one field, so make sure that you store that time with the data type date, because it's very easy for us to enter time in a text field. But if you want to do calculations and use the advantage of doing, I think that's what we are using now is the temporal data. That means that we have a field with dates. So make sure that you set up your data type as date. And there are a few more things that we have. If you work with domains, how many of you would like to see that your domain is in order? So that's another little thing that we have. So there is a tool. I will show you that. If I don't show you that, you let me know that, hey, Jorge, what happened with this tool? And there are a few more things that you will see. If you go to 10.2, there are not too many things that you can do here. And you can have a field, and if you make a little mistake forgot to put the right data type, and then what are you going to do? Well, you have to delete the field and re-add the field. Right? But now you can, at 10.2, you will be able to change the field as long as you don't have data associated to it. You can change the data type. If you can change the length of the field as well. So you can edit your fields in this case. At 10.1, remember, you can rename the fields, and that's one of the things we will have that in the demo. What do we have in Excel tables? Well, there are a couple of tools, you can see it here, and you have table to Excel and Excel to table. Let's stop on this and start having fun. You want to see this is the demo that we have to go through. All right, so we need to have the data associated to your field. We're going to start from scratch, and we need to bring in some data. So we will talk about things that we can do with this. So let's bring in the counties, and this is the state of New York and all the counties, and then also we're going to bring there is an area with a lot of wells, oil and gas exploitation, so we have those fields. And so let's work on the symbology. Let's go to the properties. Everybody knows this, so you go and import your data. Let's find out we are doing it with wells. So there is already saved all the symbology in a ledger file, so we just need to bring that one here and make sure that we select the right field associated the symbology, and that is the wells type. So do it okay, and now we have all the symbols ready for us to go. So we say okay. So now there's your symbology. Let's do the same thing with the counties, and you will see how we can start working on this. So get the counties, add this, and select. Well, that's the state of New York divided by ecoregions. So we can see all these regions in one place. Let's apply that. Now we have, it looks too bright to you, or that's fine. Well, maybe we can associate and go to the display and apply some transparency on it, and we apply it. And this really, I like this one better, don't you think? Maybe we're going to also, we have to deal with labels. And we'll increase the font size, and we're going to label features. And let's do OK. Oops. There are no labels. So what I have to do to show you the labels? Why I didn't show the labels? Oh, yeah, you know that. I'm going to let you talk. You have to talk as well. Oh, we have the label features, and because we concentrate on the exploration of this area, let's just zoom in this area. There you go. That's nicer. That's better, don't you think, than just having the default symbology. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, and we're going to keep track of your, and keep track of shortcuts. They're going a few shortcuts and quick access to some information, some implementations. So right now, let's see, if I select these two tables, and I want to see these two tables at once, we do Control-T, and it brings up the tables. And the tables are organized as, let's see if, let's make this a little bit. That's the problem with these resolutions that we have to make things a little bit smaller. So these are the tables that we have, and then the tables are open and they're organized by tabs here. Right? That's one of the options that you have. But if you want to see both tables, and we also honor the same approach that you have with the application, that you can dock your windows, well, we can dock these tables as well. So you grab the tab and then move it into the table window, and you can see that where do you want to put your tables. You can accommodate them in the horizontal or vertical approach. You want to put it above, you want to put it below. It's up to you, but at least you can just right away bring those tables up to the view. And that's when, now at 10.1, then it's easy to do it. Just grab the tab and drag it around. And here we can start working with some of this data and in our particular environment. So let's see what we can do here. And to be able to use this data, well, let's first, and you can see now at this window, I can position the window here, and now let's work with only one table. Let's leave the wells behind. And let's select a few features. And then let's select these other ones. So we have some selections, and you know that you can always, let's put it another one here. You can always show selected records and then just work with that subset of records. And then these tools, this is the toolbar that we showed a little bit ago. And then in here, you can right away say, well, I cannot see what I have in here, so maybe I can reduce the size here. But I can go to and show just the selected feature, zoom to that area of the selected features. And once that you are here, well, working with your selection, what about if we probably select a few features here? You know, there's another one here. Well, probably we don't want that, and we want these two. And then you can start showing the selected set, and then another reselect out of the selected set, you know, and then you can start doing probably sorting and your fields, if which area is here. So we click in area, we double click, and just by double clicking now we can see what are the fields or the values of your records in order. And something else that you can do is probably say, well, I'm happy with this, but let's just select these three three features that we have here. I just want this, and I don't want to work with these records anymore. And you saw that these tools are enabled now. And one of the tools is, if we show that, is it shows it. We move here and bring that unselect highlighted. So what do we have to do? Well, let's just reduce that. Now we reduce the subset, and we are ready to proceed doing our work. And well, maybe the next thing that we want to do, I don't want to deal with all these records. So what will be the best thing that we're going to do here? It probably will be select this one and just select this one, and this one. We want to work only with these particular records that we have here. And well, you just have to do another reselect of the highlighted. You see, that's the other tool that we have here. We show this one, the zoom highlighted, and then we show this one to the unselect. Well, we're going to apply these ones only. And there you go. So by now you see that you're only, or you have narrowed all your selections. Just for the explanation of this, you could be doing this automatically or use other tools to do the selection first. But just to show you how the tools are going to work, then that's what we are coming with this particular usability of your fields. All right, what more else can we do here is working with your table. After we see that there are a few probably menus that you have available and to do your work, and one of them is going to be that if you go to this area on the white tab that you have or button that you have on the left, then you right click there, you get this particular button, and you know that you have link to the map is linked to your table, so we can figure out just by looking at this context menu that you can interact with your map, flashing, zooming to this area, panning around. So it's up to you how you can run this. Also identified, or maybe you want to unselect it, zoom, clear. There are a few things that this menu that can do. If you go to your menu that you have at the title or the name of your field, you right click on it, and then you get also more functionality, sorting, ascending, descending. Maybe you want to get to the properties of your field. That's another one. You can change the alias because it reflects the same thing that we have here. So maybe this particular field, we right click on it, go to the properties, and instead of this, it's just, let's just put it on just all uppercase. So just change the name. Obviously, you know how to do these things, right? So this is just for you to make sure that you have the idea and remember these things. So we can, the other thing that we can do is use the Control F, allows you to work with the find and replace, and you know this to this particular situation. We can cancel this. Well, what about if you have your table here, and we can do the Control E. Hello. Editor, well, let's see if we unselect all the features that we have. We should work with the selected features. And we have Control E. And, okay, let's just say continue, because that's, if we look at the data frame and your special difference, when they don't match. This is interesting. Well, let's continue with this. And now you see that this is enabled. The editor is enabled. You can do your edits. You can work with your data, with fields you want to do, whatever you want to do on your editing, and then you can do the Control S to save your edits, and the Control E again just terminates. Let's just tell him that don't show me this because. So now you terminate with your editing. So that's a quick access on how you can start doing just to work a little bit faster, in controlling your data. Now, if you have to author everything in your work, so your maps and then and you put your names there, but you can do the same thing with the fields. If we go to any one of these fields that we have here, let's work with your counties as well. So right-click on it, go to the properties. What do you think? And here you go to the fields, right? And there are several options in this particular menu. That's what I'm showing you. Here you can start working in seeing fields and hiding fields that you don't want to show in your table. So right now I disabled these two fields and maybe the shape length. We don't want to show these fields. You apply those and they're gone. So again, there is this link between your layer, in this case, and your table. Once that you have the table open, there's this connection between these two. So they're all related as well. And now here you can start working with other characteristics for different fields that you have. And like I said, at 10.2, if you have a field that doesn't have any of your data or any data, then you will be able to modify it. At least we can change the names, rename your fields. We'll see that in a second. But then here you can turn the fields on and off, and then you can do your sorting in these particular options. So that's the idea, is to show you the environment that you have to be working with tables. So we have let's say if we select the area, for instance, and look at how the shape area, what is the shape area? I think probably is going to be, let's cancel this for a second. There's your shape area. I think already, there's a lot of decimals, and there are too many decimals here. So what we could do is just right-click on it, go to the properties, and select the field. And when you can format this numeric field, it's just for the display purposes. You click on it, and here you can change this. You see that's the numeric, the rounding, and then the number of decimal places. Well, you just want to go down to 2, and so that will be okay. And we apply it, and now you can see that your reports will probably give you a little bit more real situation than just a bunch of characters or numbers. All right? So that's another thing that we have, that we can do some changes, especially for the numeric place. We did the visibility. We can sort the fields, and so the idea is that all these areas in the fields, the layer and your table, they always are connected. And so we are doing fine. I'm just going through all these. What we're going to do next is keep working with this table, and let's add a field, and the field is going to be, what is the add field? Here at the top here. So let's call this, we want to calculate the area, but in acres. So we do that. We don't call it acres. We want to calculate acres, but we are going to, because this is going to be, it's going to be Jorge Fields, and we're going to put it. That's going to be good field, man. has a good field. And because we're going to calculate area, it has to be in a double. We do OK. So now, okay, are you happy with this field? This field is going to tell you that we are calculating acres? Probably not, right? So we need to change the field. Well, one way to do it, let's cancel this, is just go to the database or go to your feature. We are working with the property or with the New York counties. Double click on it, find your field. There's the field here. And just click on it, and that's going to be just acres. It's doubled, and then this field here, we're going to change it for area in acres. What do you think, that we can do that? We better do it. Can you do it in 10? Well, you can do it in 10.1. That's what I think, that we can do in 10.1. And it still not changes. Sometimes it works in my data, but then eventually what it does, we did the change on the schema. Remember, but then in ArcMap, we are pointing to the schema, and we need to, what do we need to do? What do we need to do every time that we want to see changes? Refresh. You're right. Oh, you're great, man. Refresh. How we refresh here? Well, the analogous to refresh, go back to the table options here, and there's reload cache. And that will catch the records from the resource table. So now that's how you can change the fields. Obviously, the field is not, and one of the things that is going to happen, and I'm going to afraid of doing that, but there's, let's just right click on it and let's calculate the acres. How do you calculate the acres? Calculate geometry. That's right. So there's your calculate geometry, and here you have the area, and let's just fill out of that. So depending what type of feature class you have, or the coordinate system that you have, you will be able to do things. Right? If your data is not projected, then you're not going to be able to calculate areas. Everything is related to X and Y coordinates. But because we have a projection coordinate system, then we will be able to calculate the area for polygons, points, and lines. You can do the length, or you can do the location. And then we calculate the acres. And there you go. So now we did the calculation of your area. There is a field around here, probably I'm going to have to move. Let me open another one that we have here. If the counties have that, open the table, right? There you go. So we can work with this particular example. This is what we could do. How you can figure? Are you happy with this? I was working with this, and look at the name, and we can blame the intern here that came to work with Esri and keep punching all this data and didn't do a good job trying to see what happened in here with this field. Look at that. It just spaces around, the uppercase here, all in lowercase and everything. So we need to fix this field. How do you do that? So what we want to do is, where are we going to fix this? So right click on it. Field calculator. There you go. So we get to the field calculator, and then you know that we have different options. What is the name? The name of the field that we want to fix is named. So we select the field, right, and double click on it. That's what we have to do the changes. What we're going to do is get the Python script, or you can use VB but we have now, that we are moving and we are pushing Python for you to do all your work. And so one of the things that we have to do is we're working with strings, and then with the strings we have one particular function that will help you to work with your data. And at least what we want to do is just to capitalize the first character of the word. And that will be done with title. And do it okay. There you go. Good job. So now our field name is all nice and better with the capitals. Well, now what about these spaces here? There's spaces over there. So what we should do with those? Yeah, so we go back to the same field calculator, and we are not going to use this one, right? Well, let's do it right. Let's delete this and double click on here and double click on the L. Get to the string and the L strip. There you go. And then we do the OK. So I guess now we are going to move on into, well, those are the things that eventually you can play around and work with your field, fix the fields and access the fields, and then do your work with the records, selecting records and everything. So what we have now is just, I think we move on to your. Look at other tables that we have. So we still have the counties here, and there is your other table behind. But we have one table, and so there is one particular table that we have here that deals with permits. So we need to know the associate two tables. You know what is coming is the joining of these two tables. So we have the tables here, bring it over, and so we open the table. And what we can do here is that we can use the tables as you see there's company name and the well name and status and what other things we have with these particular drilling permits. That was probably the one that we want to use because that's the county, so at least it has the county name. So if we look at the counties, obviously we are going to have the name as your county name. So we can, what we could do is probably go back to your PowerPoint. But the idea about relate, and you remember your cardinality that we have, and there is, in this case, we have two tables. We will join those. And also we can work with relationship classes. And you know the difference between these two? The relate and the relationship classes will be the main difference. It's if we are telling you here is the relates live in your, see that's so when we have the relates, and this one is the one that is telling you that it lives in your map document, whereas your relationship class is something that you have permanent in your database as part of these. Now, relationship classes are more robust and also help you to maintain the integrity of your data. So depending on the relationship classes that you create, could be, you can make a relationship that will be simple or could be composite. So you control the lifetime of your records or your features. So you always select one of these data that we have here is, for instance, this table is something that we call origin, and this other table, we call it the destination. And that's how when you do a composite relationship, then the destination or the origin controls the lifetime of the destination. If you work with annotations, feature link annotation is exactly what we are talking about here. And then we have the joins, and you know that when you look at the joins, well, everybody knows that the joins are putting the tables together, because that's standard. We always do these things that we have here. So, but I wanted to show you that it's important that we are going to review probably just the relates and the joins that's working with the tables. And so let's go back to our table. We have the New York counties, we have the last, the permits, and let's put them together. And how we do relates. You know how we can do relates, but we don't have to go and right-click on the layer because we are working with tables. But then here are the options in the upper left corner. We select that, and here we can do the joint and relate. So that's your joint, and we're going to create a relate. And the first thing that we have to do is select the field. Remember what the field is named, right? The one that we have here. And it's going to be associated with this table, and then we have to find, we're going to use the county name. We can change, sometimes in a demo, you just default everything, but I've told you about the defaults. So because there is a communication, it's a navigation between these two tables, they're going to be associated, but one table needs to navigate to the other table. So that connection, relate one doesn't tell you anything, but if we put the counties, for instance, counties, counties, and I can use I don't know why this disappeared from, I don't know if you noticed that. At the beginning, everybody was using the number 2 for 2, counties 2, permits. So that will be the navigation, but then somehow it disappeared, but I like that, make it a little bit different, and then we navigate it. So we have this, and let's look at so how we can visualize all relates, you know? So anything that we can do here? Click on this again, and you have your related tables, and obviously we have to, we can interact with the fields, right? And zoom, and what happened if let's reduce this a little bit, and let's zoom into this area. Right? And now that we have the relays, we could use the identify tool and click on this particular field, and in your identify tool, oops, I don't want to do that. Oh, that's all my holder map. So what happened to my identified table? Okay, that's better. So remember, one way what identified is going to honor your relates, and there is when you select the feature from your counties, then you see the relates already there, and then you click there, and you have 2 tables related. So there is some people that are just is just eager to drill, and they already applied for the permit. So there's this Jan and company. So that's one way that you can visualize you can work with your relates and see what the type of situation you have. And this approved, yes, the other one is pending. Okay, well, I can see that. Then other way that you can navigate is if you don't want to use your just the identify tool, what we could do is just go and navigate to the tables. We have the tables here, right? So there's the 2 tables, and how we can work between the 2 instead of just using the tabs, coming to the relates, and this is where we grow there. Remember, counties 2 permits. So that gives you the idea that the direction, navigation that we have on your tables, and what happened? There we go. We haven't selected anything. We can select it by interactively, or we will have to sort this in descending order and then go back to what is the name is student. There you go. We select this field. Now it's selected. You can see it here. And now we go and do the relates and navigation, and we have the 2 fields related. So we did the right click on it, and what do we have to do? Start Control E. There we go, and you see the pending, and now we can see that you have your domains, right? And we can say, well, you've been approved, right? And we can save these. Well, let's I'll show you a few things about the reports and pretty soon. So we are getting closer to this, and that shows you the relates. The other thing that we have to do is, the idea about doing all this is that allows you to put together all the data that you want to use to build your reports. So you have the display of your data and your analysis, if you wish, and labeling as well. So those are the things that you want to do here. So let's start, terminate our edits, and just save the changes. We don't want to see this. And the next step is to work with joins, and we can join some other tables. And the idea about the joins is because we can do summary if we join our tables. Probably everybody works with joins, right? So you don't want to see how we can do the joins again. So that means that I have to go to the other MXD where I have all this already created, and so we can view one example of the report, and then we are going to let's do that. So let's go to this contacts. So let's work on reports. So we have this, and the first report that we want to do is, and I don't want to even work with this for a long time because I want to be able to. How many want to create mailing labels? You want to do that? How easy it is to create it? Have you done that with reports? Well, let's do a report on that. So let's click on here, and there is that's your report. We can there are different things that you can do with your report. You can create a report. You can load a report if you already create one. Actually, when you save the report, because it doesn't tell you anything about saving, is create a report and you save a template, a layout that you can open again and run it. So you can load these reports as well. So let's create a new report, and there is a table. So I don't have any more data here because I just want to concentrate on this particular situation of working with your reports. And the contact, that's the table, and you can see that there are a few fields. So what field? We're going to use the company name. We brought that one here, and then you get the address as well. You get the city, and you get the state. Bring it over here, and then the zip code. So just by doing this, let me just move forward. That's fast, the way that we finish the reports, and we have a summarized table that do that. So here we are. So we are working with these reports. Now, when you create this, you probably want to check your data options. So when you do this in your report, there is, if you want to do it on all the records, so you might want to create a subset of records and then do or if you have a definition query. So you have different options to do here. We're going just to concentrate or keep working with that all. So we cancel this and we go next. And here is that if you want to do any grouping labels, so you want to group by specific things, so we don't want to do that. So therefore, we are going to just keep going. We just only have the zip. And in this next panel, what you have, there are a few things. One of them is that if you want to sort your fields. So here you have all the fields, and probably will be a good idea to sort the company names. And you have the two options, ascending or descending. We leave it on ascending. And if you were working with all the different types of fields, then you can have the summary. So you can summary base, well, there are more fields that we're not going to do summary on the zip codes, but if you have oil production and gas productions, maybe you want to do the count of the wells, and you want to do the summary of the production. And then where do you want to put this particular summary of the counts will be at the end of the report or at the end of the page. So you have different options to deal with this. And right now we're not going to do that. So we just want to do the sorting. We go next. And the idea here is just that working with the layout, and there are a couple ways that you can do this. So working layout will be stepped or outlined. So depending how do you want to manage see just the header, all the names of the fields once. So for every break that you have, every group that you have, the orientation will be another one that you want to run there. So that works. So we go next. And now we have the type of report that you want to create. Okay, Denver, because California, we have to give it to the people outside of this California. But then if you are somebody out of the country, there is Istanbul, Kima, so there are many, Lima, San Jose, so there are a lot of things. Well, let's see how Denver looks like. You like this report? You get the point across. So we have a different report, and we go next, and then we have to give in this title. Well, probably just contacts. Just keep it there, no? Just for to say something. Mailing list. There you go. And then you can preview the report, or you can go all the way and modify it right away. But it will be a good idea to have a preview, see how it looks, and then you start working with the report. So we click on here, and then we finish. Modified? No, right? We want to preview first. So finish, and you're going to be the judges of this. What do you think about the report? It looks good. And you can see there is the button here that allows you to do the editing. And once that you get to the editing, you get to the panel that will let you probably work with your report and start doing several things in here that massage and build your report that we have. So let's probably start by, we don't want to use any headers. As you see, when every place that you click, it has a meaning on it, right? So it gives you the properties for every one of these objects. So report header, we don't want to see that. You see visible here. There are a couple of things that you can do. You can just click on it, and probably if we just probably fit it in here. So you can toggle that between true and false, or just double click on it, turn it false. So I don't want to see that. We select on the pager header, we double click on it, and the footer as well. So that's start just working on your the way that you want to see your fields. Now, all this at once, maybe you want to make some columns, and we want to work with the detail of this report. So what we are going to do is just I want to be able to move this, but I don't want. Oh, I know why it is doing that. That's the footer and page footer. I want to work with the details, and now I don't know how to bring this down. There we go. So do this, and now this is the company name. We can start grabbing these fields and then just bring it over here. The city, you can bring that the city, and just put it all in the same column, and you can select all your fields, and on here you can justify your fields. They look good. And then a few things that you want to do here is, you see for the details when we click there, and the columns. So let's say we need 3 columns, and now we deal a little bit on this. So keep together, for instance, is false. We want to keep all in the same data in the same place. So make it true. And let's see what we have now. And the only thing that we can do, there is the tool to run your report. Either you can do F5 or just click in this tool, and it's running the report, and it start looking a little bit better, don't you think? So now we have 3 columns, and now you see how we can start looking into working with your report.